Okay, so dissolve the rust. I got this rust dissolver by Rust-Oleum. It's this gel spray, but this stuff's pretty simple. What you're gonna see, I need to remove any oil and some of the rust particles off the metal of the trailer, and then spray this on. You wanna keep the surface wet and constantly keep it wet. It might take 10 to 30 minutes, it's saying. But basically, you know, remove rust particles off the surface, apply the dissolver to a wet surface, turn the sprayer on, and continue to apply to the wet surface until the rust is dissolved. While heavier deposits may require additional application. So they're saying afterwards too, before painting, wait an hour and then maybe have a diluted product 50-50 with water and a rinse and wipe type solution to the bare metal. We have a little bit of rust on the trailer where it needs to, you know, after 3 years of traveling and living in it full time and going to saltwater places and lakes and rivers and just all the corrosion from rainwater. Yeah, that's essential to do on a rig that's you put 2 or 3 years worth of living in. So we're gonna see how this works and show you the final product. So as you can see, the rust that we do have on this trailer, it's not too bad, but after 3 years, you know, you want to shore up some of this rust, I would imagine. At least I do. This side seems a little worse. These side panels right here, this corner frame, you know, it has a pretty good amount of little rust on there. Underneath, you got some rust. The most significant amount of rust though, that's really got me wanting to go ahead and take care of this before the rest of the summer season, it is so hot out here, is right above the black and gray tank on the frame. We haven't had any leaks at all, but at the same time, I'm gonna need to be replacing that hardware. It's well overdue. I don't think I'm gonna keep, even if I restore and get the rust off those, I'm just gonna go ahead and replace it. But yeah, underneath here in these little TLC, so that's what we're gonna get into on restoring your trailer and getting rid of all the rust. Some other places to check out, of course, is your back, this back piece, maybe your hitch. It's really just something I wanna take care of, keep this thing looking pretty, and you know, for resale value, you gotta take care of your rig. We're gonna be headed to Sarasota in a week, and I would like to be down at the beach and make it look all nice and shiny. So let's see how this goes. So what I went ahead and got, I have a couple of these and they're pretty good. Goes right into your drill. Got the wire brush on there. They say use a brush, you know, to get into this rust, and you can sit there all day, and with the summer heat, I wanted to make the most of my time, and so with this drill, goes right in. Fairly simple. That really makes a huge difference. And of course the battery has to die, right? So that's when you need your handy dandy handheld scrubber. So as the drill charges, I guess I'll be taking it to the brush. And actually, the brush is pretty good for getting in here in these components. The feet aren't that bad. There's a little bit of rust on the arms and legs. Really, the rust on the legs are right here on a little guy, Max, because as you're torquing this up, that's where it's rubbing and scraping that metal to allow rust. Now, this has a little bit more wear and tear, as you can tell. So let's get that. Woo, that's dusty. All right, so being up underneath here, you know, you can get a good idea. The metal's not too bad around the water tank, the gray tank, but it's definitely something to look at, you know? Look at this crossbar right there. That's what the rust's like after 3 years on these going all over the nation. Some rust up in here on the underneath part. More importantly, the nastiest job, right, to consider is right underneath the black and gray tank. So when you got that rusty of a job, goggles. That's another thing to add to the list if you're going to be doing rust restoration underneath your rig. Don't get the particles in your eyes, folks. All right, so see, these are the screws on the latch on the gray tank. It's up to 3 years. So get the rust off these suckers and then replace it. That's gonna be my goal. Yes? No, say hello to the people.
Hi.
You wanna come down and help?
I'm going to the grocery store.
She doesn't want nothing to do with this job. Now the step is not too bad. You can see there's a little bit of wear and tear here in these crevices. That's not gonna be too much a concern. So another spot to check out is underneath the front, right by the door on either side. So this goes all the way out of the trailer. As you can see, the light, but look at the rust in there. Check there for the rust as well, y'all. Call it overkill, but the blower does a great job getting all that dust off the rig. So pick your poison. I'm also gonna wipe it down with a little bit of a wet cloth before I start spraying the Rust-Oleum gel on it, but that's how I do it. All right, believe it or not, now you hose down the trailer for the Rust-Oleum gel rust dissolver. You might be wondering what's with the saran wrap. I've used that to wrap the chains and some of the bolts, so when I go to spray paint, it doesn't get on those and just gets on the trailer. So when I go to paint it, the paint won't get on the chains. So I know it looks a little goofy, but I had it, and Corey's getting groceries and getting some more painter's tape for the rest of the trailer. But for now, that does well for the chains. You can wrap it pretty easy and cover them, and so they don't get painted black as well. Wow, you can see it working. You see how it's white right here? It's really getting to that rust. That's great. So what I'm gonna do is work it in with a rag all over the base of it. I'm just lightly going over it. I tell you what, it's already working. It's pretty incredible, actually. Now they say you don't want it to let it dry on here. So I'm just gonna keep it wet. I hope I'm doing this right. I'm following the instructions. It seems to be getting the job done. I am truly seeing bare metal. Look at this. See that right there? Alrighty, so check out what it's done for the, I guess, the balanced sway bars. Remember the rust we had right here? Look how clear it got all that off, all the way down. Now I've resprayed that. So what I'm gonna do, and what I would suggest you do, is spray the threaded, I don't know what you call that. Spray the threaded bar and then let your jacks go up and down. Smooth it into the crevices, that gel, to get all up in there. So check it out. That just be able to break up some of that rust. Look at that in there. It's nice. There's a lot of buildup in there. So that really did help a lot. All right, so another tip while you're doing this too, make sure you're in an area where the drips of the chemical is not really gonna affect concrete. They say, you know, you don't wanna let this stuff sit on other material, you know, porous material, concrete, anything that maybe it can start to stain as well and clean. Luckily, we have this long driveway and camp spot already set up here at our homestead. And so unfortunately, some of it's hitting some of this grass and weeds, but this entire thing is actually all gravel. The grass has just grown over our driveway. But just keep that in mind when you are using this product. If you use this product, any type of Rust-Oleum dissolving, make sure the surfaces you're applying it to underneath is either covered or something you don't care if it gets ruined. So while you're at it, and this is the chemical, you're letting the chemical work and break down that rust, take a look at, if you do have a hitch kit or weight distribution kit, take a look at your bars. Granted, we know we always want to keep the ends oiled, but take a look at ours. This is after 3 years. I've never done anything to restore these. So I'm actually gonna bump those down and spray some of that on that as well. Tell you what, it's hot in Georgia. And we're about to go to Sarasota. What in the world are we thinking? Okay, so I'm pretty much done taping it off. As you can see with that quick little time lapse, I didn't want to bore you to death. Kind of a tedious job. But what I did is just, I got painter's tape here, nothing special here. I just wanted to get the outside of these bolts. I'm gonna spray paint this. That bolt doesn't really matter because it's never gonna be threaded to that point. This is the weight distribution connection. Got around the chains, saran wrap around the lift jacks. I don't really get any spray paint on there. Just around the propane cover and the base of the rig. So there are 2 paints that I'm gonna use. I'm pretty good with the spray paint can. Got the semi-gloss protective enamel Rust-Oleum, and then this undercoating, it's rubberized black. I'm not gonna use this everywhere, but there are some places I think I'm gonna use this around just the water tanks and the black and gray tank. I'm not too sure about how I'm gonna do it, but it does resist rust and it is paintable. Might be a little overkill, but as I get into these projects, I always want to see them done thoroughly, to say the least. So we're gonna shake this up. It's been about an hour since we washed everything.
and see what that first coat does since the sun is out today. Let's go. Ooh, don't that look new? So you can kind of see what we're working with here. Rust off, restored. It's going to be a little bit of a semi-gloss black shine to it. And if you ever wondered how we got those shots, my little beautiful wife here comes out and holds the camera. But this is going to be a 2-day job. I am battling my batteries on the drill dying as I'm buffing the back end. And so this is going to sit and dry, and then we'll start on the rest of it probably in 2 or 3 days. Looking at the weather, it's probably gonna be Thursday or Friday, but hopefully have this all done before we hit the road to Florida. So time warp, here we go on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Alrighty, the day has arrived. I finished up painting out all the frame. Still need to do the rubber coat, spray paint underneath like we talked about. But overall project completed. Look how shiny and black it all is. Painted the base, the legs. So mission completed. We're about to hit the road, head to Sarasota, and we're gonna see y'all there. Hope you enjoy this video. Like and subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed it in our channel, and we will see y'all soon. Join the road.